coming out. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Make some noise. Thank you, thank you. Like my boy Sydney said, man, I wrote my first episode of late night television this winter, man. It was dope, yeah. I was working on this HBO show called Game Theory. They asked me to write an episode about the economics of baseball. I was like, if y'all want me to quit, just say that, man. Like, we ain't gotta do this. I'm from Compton, what I know about the Mets, nigga? I take a lot of pride being from my city, you know what I'm saying? We got some of the greatest people in the world to come out of Compton. Serena Williams, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar. Yet, every time I tell somebody about Compton, all they bring up is Boys in the Hood. Compton got a reputation that's 30 years old. You know what you didn't see in Boys in the Hood? Whole Foods. All right? Like, we still ain't got one, but it's on the way, it's on layaway. You know what I'm saying? They talk about gang violence all the time. Compton got a reputation it don't deserve. It's a lot of misconceptions about Compton, all right? Like, people think the first gang in Compton was the Crips. It wasn't the Crips, it wasn't the Bloods, and surprisingly, it wasn't the LAPD, all right? It was suburban white people. That's facts, all right? In the 1950s, Compton was an all-white suburb. Then blacks and Mexicans started to move to the city, white people started the gang shit. And we just made it look cool. All right? That's why I want to redo a movie. I want to make a new movie called White Boys in the Hood. Starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Right? We recreate that famous scene where Ricky get killed in the alley, but it's Zac Efron. You know what I'm saying? He walking aimlessly, scratching lottery tickets, eating Twinkies. And then you see Ben Affleck pull up in the red car with the shotty. Matt Damon look at Zach and go, Zachary! Boom, they drop him, right? Then Jack Black pull up in a Subaru. Oh, good! Right? They scoop him up, take him back to his mom's house, drop him on the couch. She's like, what did you do? What did you do? I didn't do nothing, Mom. He just got a scholarship to play lacrosse. You see the end credits, White Boys in the Hood, written and directed by Tyler Perry. That's what I want to do, man. I'm from Compton, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, right? So like everybody in my family felt like it was their job to protect me from the streets. They just weren't really good at this job. Like, for example, my brother was in and out of prison, he stole cars, he sold drugs. So naturally, he didn't want me to sell drugs unless they was his. You know? He had what I like to call hood logic, you know? Like, before he smokes a blunt, he'll take his shirt off, smoke the whole blunt, put his shirt back on, and be like, do you smell it? You smell the weed? Yes, nigga. Yes. Just because you whispering don't mean you not loud right now. You know? My brother has hood logic. It's sound logic that sounds stupid. Right? I was a shy kid growing up. I didn't know how to talk to girls. So one day I asked him for advice. And he looks at me and he goes, listen, you can't treat a queen like a hoe because she won't allow it. And you can't treat a hoe like a queen because she won't appreciate it. And I was like, nigga, I'm 12. This note says, do you like me, yes or no? Do I give it to her or not? What is this riddle? My brother's almost 50 and he's still in competition with me over dumb stuff, right? Like, I was in New York for December. December was my mom's birthday, so I didn't get a chance to spend it with her, so I sent her an edible arrangement and flowers from New York, right? Out of nowhere, I get a text from my brother that reads, you sneaky piece of shit. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, why didn't you put on the card that it was from all of us? 'Cause it wasn't. 30 minutes later, he sends me a picture of a cake that he bought my mom, right? It's a beautiful cake. It has pictures of her when she was a teenager, before she was married, after marriage, stuff I've never even seen before. It was endearing. Only problem with this cake, my mom's a diabetic. I'm like, how are you that competitive, right? You could have bought a quilt, a poster. Why would you get her a cake? He texts me back, nah, fuck you, you lost. I was like, nigga, we both about to lose our mom. What's wrong with you? In 2019, my brother went to prison, right? He went back. And I didn't want him to lose his house. I was staying in North Hollywood. I had my own apartment. I was living the dream, right? But I moved back to Compton, and I was like, what's the worst that could happen, right? 6 months later, I get shot at by my neighbor. And I only call him my neighbor because I no longer feel comfortable calling him my friend from high school. All right? This nigga shot at me over some shit that he did. I got shot at over pussy he got, right? He had sex with the wrong man's girl, right? Now, at the time, I'm living in the front house, he living in the back house. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath shed. It's about as big as a stage. But he had 2 cars, which screams responsibility, right? So one morning, this guy comes over to the crib and keys his car while it's in the driveway. This happened at 6 a.m. He sees this on the Ring camera from work, comes home by 7 a.m. to assess the damage. By 8 a.m., I get up. And my morning routine consists of like yoga, smoothies, and meditation. Like most niggas from Compton. Right? So I noticed my brother's car is out on the street and he about to get a ticket. It's street sweeping day. So I go outside to move the car. I open the door, I hear shh, shh, bah, right? I look up and my friend is standing in the front yard with a gun in his hand in his drawers. Now luckily the bullet missed me and killed our friendship, right? I'm in shock. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And what he says is more shocking, which was, my bad. I thought you was my brother. I'm like, nigga, girls' trips to Egypt require less unpacking than what you just said. So I'm like, I gotta evict him, right? He gotta go, it's time to go. I get my gun, I call a friend over to bring his gun, so it's 2 guns against 1. I know math, right? And I knock on the door. I'm like, hey bro, you gotta move. And he goes, you right. You know why? Because the easiest time to evict somebody is after they shoot at you. It beats loud music, it beats late payments. I know some of y'all thinking, Jay Snow, why didn't you just call the cops? Because he was my friend and a felon and in possession of an illegal firearm that I sold him. All right? I didn't know I had to put "don't shoot at me" on the receipt. Man. My name is Jay Snow, that's my time, thank you.
Locked in with my bros. This gone.